So there is a future timeline and there is a past timeline. Put on, I gathered too much weight and I want to be like how I was 5 years ago when I looked trim and healthy and vibrant. You have moved from that timeline. So when people have had trauma, it is never in the present. And when you feel low, this dopamine kicks out, but it's not a sustainable way to achieve dopamine. Please don't do that. Become aware of this reality. Become aware of this hack that your mind is creating. Instead, have put good health on your timeline. It will not distort itself. Your health will be optimal. These are all your markers to know that you're on the right track, okay? We take birth in this earth to do some amazing things and great things. In the world that we are in today, our greatest addiction right now in the present day is being addicted to social media, scrolling. You forget to know what it feels like to be in nature. So we are in a society and in a time that we want everything fast. Instead, if you put gratitude on your timeline, imagine what that body is going to look like. That body is going to be an energy body. It's going to be generating energy. It's going to be assimilating in so many ways that it's cultivating gratitude. It's a fast healing body because it's a body made out of gratitude.
Hello, my name is Neringa, and I'm here to discuss ancient timeline secrets for mental health. Namaste.
Namaskaram, Neringa. Welcome.
Can you please share what is the main difference between how a siddha yogi processes time versus a regular non-practicing person?
A siddha yogi has an agenda for the day. He does not process time the day he's woken up. He processes time based on when he wakes up. So he wakes up early. A siddha yogi wakes up early at Brahma Muhurta, which is between 3:30 and 5:30 a.m. and does their sadhana. Once their sadhana is done, they've already put allotted time to think for the day. They think about what is their day going to look like. They dream their day. They align everything that needs to be aligned in that day so that their body starts assimilating and rearranging and organizing itself to function for that day. So when it starts to reassimilate and align itself to function for the day, whatever they set in their timeline becomes achievable with effortless ease. And that's how a siddha yogi organizes their timeline. We use something called the Navarasas. We'll talk about the Navarasas in this podcast. We'll be talking about the 9 emotions of the being.
How can people who have deep trauma stop creating a depressive future for themselves?
People with deep trauma are usually in their past timeline. So I'll tell you how timeline works, okay? So there is a future timeline and there is a past timeline. In our past timeline, we have all the traumas and illnesses and breakdowns and heartbreaks and breakthroughs that we've had. Have you heard of yourself saying that I gathered too much weight and I want to be like how I was 5 years ago when I looked trim and healthy and vibrant? You're never going to be your past self. You can only become your future self because that timeline is already gone. You have moved from that timeline. So when people have had trauma, it is never in the present. It's always in the past. The past trauma has been repeated in their mind over and over that it appears in the present timeline and into the future timeline. So when it appears in the present timeline and into the future timeline, they're carrying that trauma like excess baggage on their shoulders, moving into life, not knowing what to look forward to. And this is why it happens.
Why is it sometimes so challenging to snap out of feeling low?
Feels really, really good to be low because you feel high when you're feeling low. What that means is when someone's feeling low, they're sad, they've gone through a breakup, or there's been a death in the family, or they failed their exam, or they didn't get their desired dream job that they wanted to get. And it's happened, that actions happen. But when they keep constantly thinking about that and repeating this over and over in their mind, they start playing this emotion of, oh, I'm not good enough. And that creates dopamine. That creates dopamine in the body, this natural hormone that gets created in the body. So they feel that, oh, I can get this dopamine hit. I'm feeling good, feeling low. I'm feeling good, feeling low. And when you feel low, this dopamine kicks out, but it's not a sustainable way to achieve dopamine. You can also receive this dopamine by a more sustainable way where you place something, a goal, or an event, an objective in your timeline so that you can achieve that dopamine by aiming towards and working towards that goal. That is more sustainable because it will not run out. The other one, when you feel low and you get high over it, it costs you your health. How long can you sustain it? 5 years, 10 years, and then you will have hypertension, diabetes, obesity, all sorts of illnesses. And then we wonder that, oh, I'm sick. Now, when you say that you're sick, that is also another hack to feeling high by feeling low. Oh, I'm sick. Please give me attention. I have all these diseases. Please give me attention. I need help. So then you're taking energy from the people around you in your family or in your communities or in your society. Going to the doctor becomes like a cool thing. It's like, I've been to the doctors. I've got all these medications. So suddenly you're taking all these medication and chemical stuff, and it becomes an entitlement that I have cancer. And you're feeling high when you say that. Please don't do that. Become aware of this reality. Become aware of this hack that your mind is creating. Instead, have put good health on your timeline, and your body will start repairing. Don't make it a common thing to go to the doctors for every single thing that you want, that you have. You have a stomach ache, don't run to the doctors. Find out why the root cause of that stomach ache is. Heal your own body. Learn to heal your own body. If you don't know how to heal your own body, no one can heal you. You're the only person who can heal your own body. Everyone else supports that healing, including the doctors, including the Western medical system, including homeopaths, Ayurveda, Siddha Vaityam. All of them just help you and support you to heal your own self, heal your own body, learn to heal your own body. For that, you need to learn about your body. For that, you need to have a practice that helps you to understand your own body.
Some of us have many goals. However, we struggle to commit to it and see it through and achieve it. How to handle this?
For starters, it was never our goal. It's someone else's goal that we put on our timeline. You know how I was saying there's a past timeline and we bring that into our present and then create our future timeline? So there is a future timeline as well. So there's a past timeline and then there is a future timeline. It's full of hope. You can design whatever you want to design in your life. But in this future timeline, you put something else, someone else's goal in there. You put someone else's goal in there. Your parents want you to be a doctor. My own family members did this. They became doctors because their parents wanted them to become doctors. They put it on their timeline. Your society or your friends or your partner expects something of you. You put that on your timeline. It's not your own goal on the timeline. So suddenly you're realizing that you don't have the commitment or the motivation to get there. You just don't, because you don't want to be a doctor. You want to be a scientist. You want to be, I don't know, someone who works in 7-Eleven. You want to be a race car driver. Let's put that in the timeline. You want to be a race car driver. How far is the distance between a race car driver and a doctor? So you want to put what is that motivates you on your timeline, and that's how you're going to have commitment to what you're achieving. Otherwise, you'll never find commitment in what you're, because it's someone else's goal, in what you want to achieve, because it's someone else's goal.
Are there any more reasons that people get sidetracked or distracted from their goals?
Yeah, because you don't have the natural motivation to get to your goal. So there is a disconnect. When you have a disconnect with what your goal is, what the goal that you set up on your timeline, say, for example, let's just take this goal of wanting to become a doctor. You go to medical college and you do your 5 years of study, and somewhere around the 3rd year or 4th year, you realize things get really difficult. And when things get really difficult, you start getting distracted by drinking and partying and traveling and motorcycles and hiking and girlfriends and boyfriends and whatever else, doing drugs and smoking up and all the things that people do, young people do, right? I've also passed through that path. But when you put something that is really dear to you and you're passionate about that, your body creates a new body to assimilate itself to achieve that goal. It corrects and aligns itself to achieve that goal. It will not put anything that is not in the design to achieve that goal. It will not distort itself. Your health will be optimal. These are all your markers to know that you're on the right track, okay? Your health will be optimal. Your mind will be clear and it's sharp. When you have a sharp mind and a clear mind, naturally you're in the path to achieving what you set out to achieve. And the distance between that and where you are is only a matter of knowing that's what you want to go. You will wake up, you'll jump off bed and wake up in Vira. You'll have so much energy when you wake up, and you'll have so much clarity that you know exactly what you're going to set up for the day. Also, another major reason for people to get distracted from what they set out to do is they choose something more than what they can chew. When you choose something greater than what you can achieve, then it becomes really difficult to achieve that. For example, say you want to become an astronaut. To become an astronaut, first you need to become a rocket. You need to understand rocket science, for which you need to do a degree or two or three in aeronautics engineering. You need to have aeronautics as your subject. For that, you need to be in school learning science, physics, and mathematics. And that's not going to cut it. You need to go and find all the books and texts, journals that's been written about aeronautics and aerospace and aeroscience, so that you can start reading in your own time. These are things that they don't teach you in school. If you're passionate to become an aerospace traveler, you need to be learning about that. You need to fill the gaps of the knowledge that you have about that. You need to be dreaming about that. You need to put it on your agenda every single moment of the day. You don't waste a moment in your life not doing that. When you do that, that becomes achievable. But then when you announce it to everyone saying you want to be an astronaut and you don't even want to learn science and you don't like science, you don't like mathematics, or you don't like physics, that dream is not going to come in place. So if that's on your timeline and you don't have this interest in the subjects that makes you become an aeronaut, that's a huge gap in not just knowledge, also in your skill level. So choose something that you actually can chew, that is achievable and that's doable. And when it's doable, you are able to build this siddhi, this power of how to achieve things in your timeline. We take birth in this earth to do some amazing things and great things. For the first 40 years or 30 years or 20 years of our life, what really happens in our life is we go to school. We forget about the memories of why we took birth in this earth. So choose what you can chew. Have achievable goals in your life, have doable goals in your life. Set out objectives that you're actually truly passionate about, and that will help you to achieve this in your timeline, in your life.
Thank you for sharing this. Many people also have challenges with experiencing anxiety, stress, maladaptive daydreaming. How to solve all this?
Neringa, anxiety, stress, depression, they're all an excuse to not do what you set out to do. If you want to become an astronaut and you're not doing that because you're self-sabotaging yourself, like, oh, it's too hard to do that. I'd rather just be drinking alcohol, smoking cigarettes, doing dope, and watch Netflix and eat junk. It's just easier to achieve that. And what you get in return is you get dopamine. It feels good. Our lifestyle, our social lifestyle has become like that. It's advertised and marketed so much that people think it's really cool to do all these things. But what it is doing is it's putting a space between you and the objective that you set out to do. It's destroying the body. You're not creating the body that can achieve that. So, anxiety, depression, sadness, illnesses are all a distraction to your goal. When you understand that, when you see that as that, you will step out of that to align yourself to walk towards your goal. So, anxiety, depression, and illnesses and sicknesses is a distraction to stop you from doing what you're set out to do. Become aware. The only thing you really need to know from where you are to where you need to go is three things: your attitude, your skill, and your knowledge. If you don't have the attitude to achieve what you set out in your goal, then naturally you will not be motivated. And that's a distraction. So that attitude, when it's not motivated, it'll look for other distractions and give excuses as to why it cannot wake up in the morning. How to solve anxiety, depression? The solution is very simple. Get excited and motivated to do what you set out to do. If you are not excited, then that is something that you don't want to do. Your body is rejecting that. When your body rejects that, it's not really happy to do that. For example, say you want to go on a holiday. You want to go on a holiday and see how, and you put that holiday in your timeline, say in a month's time or 2 months' time. In a month from now, when you decide to go on a holiday, an exotic holiday, say to Mauritius or Maldives, to the islands, and go on a sailing trip, just listening to what I'm saying itself is making you feel that you're sailing. And your body starts feeling great, isn't it? Just listening to this, your body starts feeling great. When your body starts feeling great, naturally you start feeling motivated about to lose a few pounds. Your eyes start looking at wearing the nice clothes. It's starting to pick and choose. You're doing a little bit of shopping to get the clothes that you want to wear to go out when you go traveling. Starting to look at your suitcases and bags that you want to carry. You're starting to look at how your grooming is, how your mental state is, and you're starting to move things off your timeline to have this holiday, to make space for this holiday. So when you are moving all these things and you're making space for this holiday, the people around you are also getting excited for your holiday. Why is that we don't use the same phenomena for everything else in our life? Where is the anxiety and depression in this? Does anyone feel anxious or depressed to go on a holiday? You go on a holiday when you're feeling anxiety and depressed. It's like an escape route. It's not a sustainable solution, but it temporarily fixes the problem. Temporarily, it fixes the problem. When it temporarily fixes the problem, why not use that solution as a sustainable problem solver? I'm not saying keep going on holidays. Turn the life that you're living, where you are, into a holiday. Make that the dream. When you make that the dream, naturally your microbiome, your body is moving in the way that you'd want to move on your vacation. You're here. Be present. Don't keep checking out. When you keep checking out, you're not attending to the problems that's around you. You're running away from your problems. Instead, solve the problems. We took birth in this earth to solve problems. This body took its shape to come here to be amazing, to be extraordinary. And we are doing nothing less than just mere ordinary, if not mediocre. Why not choose to be elite? And an elite person does not have any anxiety because he or she has overcome all that. How? By getting excited with what they're choosing to do. Realign and see what's on your calibration. What's on your calibration in your timeline? See if this is something that motivates you. This is something that's aligned to you. If not, take it off. Choose what is actually aligned to you.
Sometimes when we set ambitious goals, it takes time and we might get tired. How to sustain this motivation to achieve it?
Well, like I said earlier, only put something that you can handle. Don't do something that's beyond what is achievable. Set small steps. If you have an ambition to become an aeronaut, set small steps. If you want to become an astronaut, set small steps to become an astronaut. So the first ambition should be I'm ambitious about physics and mathematics. If you're ambitious about wanting to be a chef, then start cooking and chopping vegetables at home. Start going to the farmer's market. Start growing vegetables in your garden. Start understanding the science behind how food is actually grown. And start understanding how can you handle that fruit to turn it into a meal. Then go get an education if it's still exciting you. Don't go get an education when you're half-hearted about it and then decide that this was never for you. 10 years down the track, you're hating your job. You're hating everything that you do. Over-ambitious, but it's not in alignment to your being. Sometimes we choose things that puts us down and we learn some lessons out of that. Don't be shy of learning. When you fail, learn so you can pivot from there. And that's why we fail. Why do they say failures are the pillars of success? Because it is the pillars of success. It is the pillars of pivoting into success. You're training for a marathon. And on your first race, don't expect to win that marathon. I mean, if you win that marathon, amazing. It's a gift. But don't expect to win that marathon. At least expect yourself to finish that marathon without falling and getting injured. If you do fall down and get injured, it's okay. It's okay. You still participated in a marathon. That is much better than not doing anything and sitting at home and thinking about how sorry your life is, how sad your life is. It's better than that. So jump out there. Come on, you can do it. Jump out there and see what that inspires you. You, not anyone else, not your parents, not your friends, not your family members. What inspires you? And do that thing. Try it. Neringa, I traveled around the world, the 7 continents, purely because I wanted to see the length and breadth of this planet. And I got inspired by it because it was something that I wanted to do. No one inspired me about that. I did that because I wanted to do it. This body shaped and transformed itself to suit every single continent, every terrain, whether the highest of mountains to the deserts to the coldest of places. It adapts to what you're trying to do because it's on your timeline. It's a very clear goal. If it is happening in this body, it can happen to anybody and everybody. It's possible and it's simple.
Can you please share how social media affects our mental vitality and mental health?
Great question. When you're sitting there and scrolling for 10 hours and you haven't realized you haven't eaten, you've put off your bath for 6 hours and you're holding your essentials to not go to the toilet and you missed all your appointments, that's a sign of addiction. So the same principle as what happens to addicts applies here. In the world that we are in today, our greatest addiction right now in the present day is being addicted to social media, scrolling, constant scrolling. So our attention span is very small. We scroll something, look at it for 60 to 90 seconds, sometimes only 10 seconds because we don't like what we see in the first 10 seconds. When we don't like something, what we see in the first 10 seconds, then we scroll. So we are choosing and rejecting things in life so quickly that we are choosing and rejecting people and situations and circumstances in our life so quickly as well. The brain does not have the capacity to analyze the environment that you're in. It doesn't have the capacity to analyze the environment inside because you're actually getting sick. Being on a device flashing bright white light, EMF, artificial electromagnetic frequency, throwing it at your body, that you're losing the natural light of the body. You forget to know what is day and what is night. You forget to know what it feels like to be in nature. It's a massive disconnect. You are in the four walls of a concrete building, gaming and scrolling and being on social media, addicted to it, that we just forget. We forget to eat our meal. Want something that's faster that we can eat while we are scrolling, while we are playing, so that one finger, we're going to have soon this one finger or two fingers, whatever you use to scroll, is going to have arthritis. It's going to seize like that. On our deathbed, this finger is going to stick like that. And if you notice, the grip on your finger is going to be shaved off like a flat tire, like a worn out tire, because of the amount of scrolling we've done with that finger. Take time off. It's the same thing that you get when you have feeling low and being high, and you're getting this dopamine hit while you are scrolling. Instead of that, why not do something real? I made an inspiring reel last week for our audience, and the subject goes like this. I'm hanging upside down off a tree, and I do a spin and I jump up a tree and I'm hanging upside down. And I'm telling the viewers, hey, if you're watching me and you're looking at this and you're not doing what I'm doing, don't get high on what I'm doing. Don't celebrate my serotonin and dopamine cultivation in your body because I'm doing it and you're watching it. And a common phrase in my class that I use in the Healing Warrior Tribe is seeing is not doing, because it's a recorded class. So when you're watching me doing the class and say that I've watched your class, seeing is not doing. You got to do the class. That's when you get the benefits. So become aware of this nature of you, and that will help you pivot. That will help you pivot from that. Reduce the amount you scroll. Choose the subjects that you actually want to see. You can choose the subjects that you want to research on. Reduce it to half an hour in the morning and half an hour in the evening. Have a timer. There are apps that can limit these things. So if you are able to go in that direction, yes, we are with technology, we are in the modern world, we are using all this equipment to transfer this knowledge across to you, then you will start understanding that even this distraction can be used for educational purposes. Then it's not a distraction. You're looking for something, you're searching for knowledge, and you will find that knowledge. And you allot yourself time space. Don't get lost in searching, because when you find it, start thinking about how you're going to apply it. In the application is where you become aware that it is educational, because you're watching this video right now and I want it to be an educational one. So it benefits you and helps you.
Can you briefly share how social media impacts the way our mind processes time?
really fast. So we are in a society and in a time that we want everything fast. Gone are the days when you click the internet button and it's spinning around for 5 minutes before internet connects. People will remember this from the 90s, I think, or 2000s, or late 90s. Now, when we click a button, we want 100 pages to open at a time. Now, you take that and apply into the reality where there is no technology. We want everything fast. Fast food, fast relation, fast girlfriend, fast boyfriend, fast, everything fast. Where are we going? Where are we going with this life? If everything becomes fast in your life, then your breath is also becoming fast, which means your death is becoming faster. When you're born and you live your life, we all are born to die someday. This body will die eventually at some point. When we put death on our timeline, where do you think our body is going towards? It's preparing itself to die. It's preparing itself to perish. Is that the life we want to live? Instead, if you put gratitude on your timeline, the people that you're grateful for, the first relationship of your life, your parents, put your mom, your mother that gave birth to you on your timeline. Put your father who seeded you on your timeline. Put your siblings on your timeline. Put the people that have been by your side and cared for you and shown you the way, your teachers, your spiritual teachers on your timeline. Put your partner that wraps around you and supports you with everything you do on your timeline. Everyone that you're grateful for in this life, when you put them on your timeline, you are making the timeline of a lifetime. It's not a timeline of death anymore. It's a timeline of a lifetime. And imagine what is that timeline going to look like. Imagine what that body is going to look like. That body is going to be an energy body. It's going to be generating energy. It's going to be assimilating in so many ways that it's cultivating gratitude. It's present. It's not running as fast as you're scrolling. It's present. It's aware. And when it's aware, it has greater things to accomplish in its life. It's a fast healing body because it's a body made out of gratitude. Then everything that you put on your timeline, it'll be supported, it'll be held into the direction of success. And that, my dear audience that you're watching, is a solution to the problem of the modern human. We need to slow down and become aware of where we are heading, who we are with, what we are doing, where are we, and what is that we're trying to achieve together. You will create common goals. If you have relationship problems with your family members, your parents, more so than anyone, have common goals with them. Create common goals that is achievable. Put that on your timeline. That itself will start healing. Your capacity to think about what is that I can create with my mother will start healing the relationship with your mother. Your capacity to think, what is that I want to create with my father? How can he be helpful in my business? He has all these life experiences. He knows he's good with people. How can he help me learn the skill? You're putting him on your timeline. When you have your teachers, your spiritual teachers, your mentors, your coaches on your timeline, you can create, collaborate, and co-create with them. Likewise, your body will also do the same. It will assimilate. It will regenerate instead of degenerating. So don't draw a timeline to create a degenerating body towards death, but instead create a regenerating body, a fast healing body towards life. The only way that you can create a body that is towards death is because you're scared of something that's happened to you. If you've had a sickness or you've fallen down, you had an accident, that fear has gone into your future timeline. And then you stop riding. If someone broke your heart, you stop wanting to be in a relationship. If something catastrophic happened in your childhood, we tend to blame our parents, and we have a toxic relationship with our parents. And that we put it on our future timeline, and that toxicity continues on. We never bother to heal that. And where do you think that is heading? It's heading towards death. A toxic timeline is creating a toxic body. A toxic body will eventually perish. And that's what's happening. And this is the root cause of most of the health problems in our world. And when you understand this truth, your life will change. It'll pivot. Everything and everyone that's helping you, you'll start receiving the benefits because you allowed yourself to heal. You've allowed yourself to move on. You've allowed yourself to create something amazing. And that is what you're here for. I've been working day and night, hail or storm, rain or cold, sun or no sun. I've been working 4 years every single day, showing up to myself, just to know that if this body can prove it, so can anyone. Your body is ready. Are you ready? Come join the Healing Warrior Tribe. Om Namah Shivaya.